So actually, these are the demo sessions, right? That's why we are waiting for the students to join. But as I told you in the last day itself, regular class timing is 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Once link is changed, means when you get the paid link, session starts at 7 p.m. exactly. Okay. So today's topic is features of Linux. This is shell scripting codes only, but shell scripting we practice on Linux, right? So why Linux? What are the features we have in Linux? That features I'm explaining. Okay. So features of Linux. So first point is open source. Source code we get along with the operating system. So operating system is free to everyone. You can download and install Linux. No need to pay for the license fee. So that is main advantage here. Source code is free to everyone. See, uh, if you go with Windows means when you want to install genuine Linux operating system, you have to purchase license key. So that is the reason nowadays when you're purchasing laptops or desktop, they are charging including the operating system extra 3,000 they will charge extra. And they will install Linux operating system. Sorry, they'll install Windows and they will give the machine to you, laptops to you. So that extra charge is for license key, right? Because Windows is not free. So based on number of users you are installing in your computers, they will charge. Okay, but Linux is not like that. It is open to everyone. You can download and install and you can practice. And source code you will get along with write permission. Source code you will get with write permission. So if you want to modify the source code, if you want to do any changes, you want to create your own commands, you want to modify the commands, you want to change entire view of your operating system also, you can do that. Because source code you will get with write permission. But for that, you must have C++ 100% knowledge. But our work is not that. You don't want to change any source code, means it is not required to learn C++. Okay, so the first point is open source. Source code we get along with the operating system. Operating system is free to everyone. And source code we get with write permission. If you want, we can modify your source code. And multitasking. Multiple tasks we can perform at a time. Multiple applications you can run at a time. This feature is there in most of the operating system, not only in Linux. So in Linux also we have that feature. And next one is multi-users. See, we have three types of operating systems. We have three types of operating systems. Single user, single task operating system, single user, multitask operating system, and multi-user, multitask operating system. So there are three types of operating systems we have. So first one is single user, single task. Here only one user can log in and that user can perform only one task. When they are running one application, in the same time they want to open another application, they cannot open. They can perform only one task at a time. Okay, so and only one user can log in this machine. So example for this is DOS, disk operating system. This is the first operating system we have, and this is single user, single task operating system. And second one is single user multitask. Here also, how many users list it is displaying. When you are logging into your computer, when you switch on your computer, how many users list it is displaying. Still, you can log in into one user account only. Okay, but that user can perform multiple tasks. Multiple applications they can run at a time. If they logged in into one user and they want to log in into another user, means first they will come out from one user and they will log in into another user. But at a time, we cannot log in into multiple users. Example for single user multitask is Windows. In Windows, how many users you have? Still, you can log in into one account only. If you want to log in into another account, first we log out from one account, then we log in into another account. So single user multitask Windows. I am taking Windows example just for your easy understanding. That's it. And next one is multi-user multitasking. Here, multiple users can log in and they can perform multiple tasks. At a time, multiple users can log in. See how I open here multiple tabs and I'm doing different works here, right? So same like that. There you can open multiple users and they can perform multiple tasks. Okay. So example for multi-user multitask is Linux. In Linux, multiple users can log in and they can perform multiple tasks. So that is also advantage of Linux, multi-user multitasking. And next one is portability, means can be installed on all hardware architecture. It works in every hardware environment. We don't require any specific hardware architecture. Like if you see AIX server, which required IBM hardware environment. If you want to install AIX server means compulsory you must have IBM devices only. Like that we have some operating system which supports specific hardware architecture. But Linux works in any hardware environment. Even Windows also works in every hardware environment. And here in Linux, it works with least hardware environment also. If you have 10 GB hard disk, 512 MB RAM also, you can use Linux. So that is also advantage of Linux. Okay, so portability can be installed on every hardware environment. The next one is scalability. Scalability means same operating system can be used on a normal desktop PC to supercomputer. Operating system is same here. We don't have separate operating systems for clients and servers. There is only single operating system. So what operating system we are using in our normal desktop PC just for practical purpose, the same we use in real time also. So the commands what we learn here, everything works in real time also. So that is also advantage, scalability. If you go with Windows, in Windows, we have two types of operating systems. Client operating system, server operating system. Client means what generally? Clients means which request for the services. Server means which provides requested services. So in Windows, we have client operating system and server operating system separately. So client operating systems are like 95, 98, ME, NT, XP to the, sorry, 95, 98, ME, XP, Vista, Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 11. These are the client operating systems we have. Server operating system is NT 2000, 2003, 2008, 2012, 2016, 17. These are the server operating systems. So in Windows, for server operating system is different, for client operating system is different. Right. So server configuration is different, client configuration is different, complete different it was. But in Linux, it is not like that. Normal desktop PC to supercomputer, we use same operating system. So no confusions if you're working in real time also with this commands. Initially, what commands we learn here, the same commands we use in real time also. And next one is reliability. We can trust Linux operating system. We can trust Linux. So why Linux is reliable means in Linux, no downtime. In Linux, no downtime. 24/7, it works. Many large servers have been successfully running without a single second of a downtime. So we can trust Linux machines. See, in Windows, if you are installing something, if you are uninstalling something, if you are updating something, so if you are updating patches, whatever we do, we must restart the computer compulsory. If you observe, sometimes if you are using laptops or desktops, every week almost you will get the updates you will get. See, when you are going to shut down your machine, it will give you some message like new updates are ready. After updating, either you must restart or shut down the machine. You'll get that option. So compulsory, after updating the computer with new patches, so it will ask you to restart the computer. Right. So in real time, when you are using Windows machines every week, most probably on Thursday or Friday evening, Microsoft people will send the patches. Patches means updates. New updates they will send to organization. So now what administrator will do is they will install that updates. They will run that updates. So before running that updates, what administrators will do is they will give that information to all the clients and employees. Like 15 minutes downtime, 20 minutes downtime. They'll send the mails first. Most probably they will do when employees are not there on lunchtime or night times like that, they will do updates. They'll run the updates because once everything is updated in server machine, they will restart the server. So when they restarted the server, entire services, all the services will go down because when we restarted the computer, it will stop all the services, right? Excuse me. So when it is on, after restarting, when it is on, they will run all the applications again. So for that, it will take time. So that is downtime. So that is the reason sometimes if you observe when you are doing any online transactions, phone pay, Google Pay, something, you will get the message like your server is temporarily down like that. Because when the main server is updating, you will get such messages. That is in Windows. But coming to Linux, no downtime. Without restarting the computer, everything we can update to kernel in Linux. How to update without restarting means that practical you will get in Linux administration course, not here. Remaining all the practicals, most probably you will get, I will show here also. But some points, only in Linux administrations, I can show you practically. So reliable Linux, we can trust Linux because no downtime. And next one is security. Linux is secure. Many reasons are there why Linux is secure. So why Linux means people will sell because it is secured. Linux is secured operating system. They'll give that answer. Why Linux is secure? Many reasons are there. So one is inbuilt IP tables are there. IP table is nothing but firewalls. In Windows we call firewall. Here we call IP tables. Inbuilt IP tables are there. So whenever you want, we can enable or disable as per our requirement. And SE Linux is a secured enhanced Linux. IP tables are used to secure networking files. SE Linux is used to secure local file. What is this IP tables? How to enable, disable this? We'll get in Linux administration course. So Linux is secure because inbuilt IP table is there, means firewalls are there, and SE Linux is there. IP tables are used to secure what? Networking files. SE Linux is used to secure local files. This is one reason. And second reason, Linux is secure because Linux works with command line interface. So those who are using Linux machines, they must know all the commands of Linux. Okay, so without knowing the commands, no one can configure anything in Linux machine. So others cannot access your machine. Without knowing command, no one can see the content of your file also. For everything we use commands, but don't think it is difficult. Linux is not difficult. Linux is secured and Linux interesting. It is interesting subject. It is not difficult because all the commands, every command I will show you practically. I'll explain you. And I'll make a note and I will share also. So no need to worry about the commands. It is not at all difficult. And no need to remember all the commands. It is not required. Which commands are required? Definitely you'll remember that commands. Okay. So Linux is secure because it works with command line interface. Those who know commands, they only can access your computer. They only can configure something in Linux machines. Okay. And Linux is secure. Another reason is in Linux, password authentication is compulsory for every user. Without password authentication, no one can access your user accounts. So if someone wants to log in into your user account, compulsory they must know the password. In Windows, once a user is created and if you don't generate the password to that user means when you click on that user account, it will allow you to enter into that user account because there is no password is generated, so it will not ask for the password. But in Linux, it is not like that. Once a user is created and if you are trying to log in into that machine, that user, it will ask for the password. If you don't enter the password, it will not allow you to that user. So what we do? First we create password. When we create user, we also create password. Okay. So when the password is created, when you log in into computer, it will ask for the password. If you enter the password, then only it will allow you to access that account. So that is also security only. Linux is secure. Inbuilt IP tables are there and SC Linux is there. Linux is secure because it works with command line interface. Linux is secure because for every user, password authentication is compulsory. Linux is secure. We can encrypt a file by assigning password. That I will show you practically also in coming classes. We can encrypt a file by assigning password. See, once a file is created and if there is some important content in that file, you can encrypt that file by assigning password. Once a file is encrypted by assigning password, if someone else is trying to check the content of your file, if they are trying to see content of your file, it will show the content in encrypted format. If they are trying to open your file, it will ask for the password. So without knowing the password, no one can check the content, no one can enter into the file. This I will show you practically also. Okay, so this is also one reason why Linux is secure. Linux is secure because we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. In Linux, it doesn't support exe files. Okay, so no next finish, no auto runs. Many PCs are infecting with virus because of exe files only. But Linux doesn't support that exe file. Okay. So it doesn't support exe files. No auto runs, no next finish. Linux is secure because there is no setup file. Everything you will get as a configuration file. So we have to configure manually everything. What we configure, if you want to work with DNS, DHCP, Apache, NFS, FTP, whatever it is, we must configure the service manually in configuration file. So whatever we configure, your system accepts that only. So that is also one reason why Linux wins. Okay, so these are the few reasons why Linux is secure. And in Linux, there is a kernel also, which is inbuilt in our operating system. It is small software. That kernel is an interface between shell and hardware. So whenever user gave any instructions to shell, like a plus b, 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1, something. If instructions user gave to computer means first shell receives that instructions. What shell do is the function of shell is it converts the user understanding language into machine understanding language, means into zeros and ones. So whatever data is given by user, that data it converts into zeros and ones. That's it. It will not check what data we sent. It just converts into zeros and ones. If it is virus also, and it transfers to kernel. Now, what kernel will do is, before transferring the data to hardware, first kernel checks the data. If the data is supported by hardware environment, then only it transfers the data to hardware. Otherwise, it resets back to shell. So kernel, inbuilt kernel also there in Linux, which gives more security. Okay. And another thing, performance-wise, comparing to other operating system, Linux is fast. If you compare with other operating system, performance-wise, it is fast. Why Linux is fast comparing to other operating systems means, so two reasons are there, main reasons. One is Linux works with command line interface, black screen with white font. So graphics are not compulsory. If you want, you can use GUI mode also. It is not compulsory. So when you are using black screen with white fonts, it will not use more graphics. Processor work is less at that time. And another thing is, in Linux, there is a swap memory. What is swap memory? Means it is a virtual memory. We have memory means what? Storage device. Storage. Physical memory means what? Storage device which we can touch. Like RAM, ROM, hard disk. These are physical devices. Right? Physical memory. And virtual memory means it is for storing, but we cannot touch it physically. So swap is a virtual memory which we create from hard disk. We'll take space from hard disk and we can create swap memory. What is the use of this swap memory? Means it is used to increase the performance of RAM. See, now say for example, you have a RAM with 1 GB. Your RAM size is 1 GB. It means it can send 1 GB of data and it can receive 1 GB of data. Right. So now, generally, if you want to increase the performance speed, what we do? We insert another RAM. But in Linux, there is an option called swap memory, virtual memory. Now, what I can do is I can create swap memory. Swap memory size is double of the RAM. Now, your RAM is 1 GB, right? 1 plus 1 is 2. So, now using 2 GB space, you can create swap memory. So, from where we take that space means we'll take the space from hard disk and we'll create a virtual memory. And that space, it adds to RAM. Already 1 GB RAM is there. Now 2 GB virtual memory, it is adding to RAM. Now 2 plus 1, how much? 3 GB. Now your RAM works with 3 GB space. Using 3 GB space, it will send the data and it will receive the data. So performance will increase. Right. So that is also one reason why Linux is fast. So in Linux, while installing the operating system, creation of swap memory is compulsory. And after entering to the operating system also, if you want, you can create again. So while installing the operating system, how to create swap memory, I will show at the time of installation. Okay, so after entering to the operating system, how to create swap memory means that you will get in Linux administration, not here. Okay. So these are the few reasons why Linux means. So these are the features of Linux. Open source code we get along with the operating system. Operating system is free to everyone and we can edit the source code also. And multiple users can log in and they can perform multiple tasks. And it can be installed in all hardware architecture. We don't require any specific hardware environment. And same operating system can be used in normal desktop PC to supercomputer. And we can trust Linux because no downtime here. Without restarting the computer, we can update everything in Linux. And it is secure because inbuilt IP tables are there and SE Linux is there. IP tables are used to secure networking files and SE Linux is used to secure local files. And it works with command line interface. So those who know commands, they only can access your computers. They only can configure something in your computer. Okay, and Linux is secure because it doesn't support exe files. And Linux is secure because for every user password authentication is compulsory, and we can encrypt a file by assigning password. Every text file we can encrypt by assigning password. We can encrypt a file, and it doesn't support exe files and no setup files. Everything you will get as a configuration file. Even you can encrypt that configuration files too. Once a file is encrypted, your servers, maybe it may be FTP server, DNS server, DHCP server, something you configure. And if you encrypted that file, others cannot access that file without password. So these are the few reasons why Linux wins. These are the features of Linux. Is this clear? What I explained is clear? And these points, notes I will share through Telegram. All the points notes you will get through Telegram. So once you register with this course, you will get the link, Telegram link. There I will share it. Is this clear? The points which I explained is clear?
Yes.
Done. And in tomorrow's session, I will explain file system hierarchy. Means once we install Linux, what are the default, by default, what are the directories you will get along with the operating system? Directory means folder. So by default, what we get along with the operating system, that I will explain in tomorrow's session. Okay, so this is about today's session. Thank you so much for the session. We'll meet tomorrow. Tomorrow also there will be a demo link only, free link only you will get.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah.